been camping at this KOA for a week, and I started thinking, you know what, I want to do a quick video of just some do's and don'ts for RVing. You know, some of these things you might know, some you might not, some are kind of funny and common sense you would think, but I wanted to just kind of do a quick video on this and just share some of my ideas. All right, so first don't let your kids or anybody run behind people's RVs. Why? Pretty common sense, but a lot of people forget that you've got your sewer hose hooked up, you've got your water lines, maybe you have a cable line hooked up. So definitely that's something to keep in mind, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen little kids run behind our RV and I'm going, no, don't hit that sewer hose. So second don't blare your music. You know, a lot of times you'll be sitting there and it might not sound that loud, but it can be. So double check that. Sometimes you can get lucky and behind your RV you don't hear it that well, but in the front you hear it more. But just be mindful of that, especially since some campgrounds have got quiet time. You want to be mindful of that too. So third don't. Be careful and don't walk right in front of someone's camper. That's kind of the weirdest feeling in the world, when you're sitting there and all of a sudden right outside your window or outside your screen door you got somebody walking right by. So take that extra time to walk down to an open area. Use that as your walkway. My next tip, do put in your awning. Now the weather was great, it was awesome, it was warm out, sunny, and just like that it started downpouring. And Brooke was like, hey, do you want to put in the awning? We were going to step out, take the golf cart out, and luckily we did, because it did, and it was messy. Another don't leave your black tank valve open. If you haven't heard of the term poop mountain, Google it and you'll see why. Another do use one of these right here, because you do not want to back them.
Oh, I gotta go.
Up in your hose.
Fire in the hole!
Do hook up your water before you go to your sewer. You don't want to cross-contaminate, so a good rule of thumb, hook up everything you got on your camper first, then do sewer last. Do use one of these right here. This is called a surge guard, and it's going to protect your camper from electric surges. Stayed in an RV camp park where they were having problems with their electricity and it kept going out on a certain section of people, it'd come back on. So do use one of these just to protect yourself. Do park your vehicle off the street, because you've got campers coming in and out and backing up and pulling in all day long. You don't want your car getting hit, and you don't want to hit somebody. So good rule of thumb, do park your car off the street. We actually were at an RV campground where a guy ripped somebody's bumper. Do know the distance of your slide out when it's extended. Ours is 3 feet. Also, have a spotter. My wife does that. She keeps an eye on stuff and makes sure that there's not any other obstructions in the way. Because I'll tell you what, some campgrounds that you pull into, there might be a tree, there might be an electrical box, and it might look like it can go far enough, but you definitely want to do your measurements and everything and have somebody watch while you're running the slide out. All right, do make sure before you hook up that your hoses are in the right position, you have enough length. You don't want to get your camper all set up, you pull everything out, you get it level, and then you find out, oops, I don't have enough length or hoses, or I'm too far away. All right, do make sure you level your camper and you chalk it. You'd be surprised out there in RV parks where you don't even have to glance at the camper very long to figure out, wow, that thing's not level. There's a lot of damage that can happen to your camper by not leveling it properly, and also everyone knows you got to chalk it. So make sure that you do level your camper and you do chalk it. Now I kind of go probably where some people would say overboard on the chalking, but I'm really big on I don't want the camper moving. So a couple things we do is we have a chalk in the back of the tire here, and we also have this. Everyone's probably seen these before, but one thing I always look at is if this is up off the ground like this because somebody drove up on it to level their camper, which is great, I don't want that thing moving and wiggling. So we put a chalk underneath that as well. And then we also use these are called X chalks to kind of keep the wheels stable too. So I definitely chalk things. I like to chalk it because I do not want camper movement at all. And then also I will tell you, get these inspected, look them over, whatever the case is, because these things will get old. So you want to make sure that you're not out in the middle of nowhere or you're in some RV park somewhere in the middle of the night and you're trying to set up and find out one of these broke. So you don't want that either. And last but not least, do talk to your neighbors.
How we doing? I like your guys' little kitchen right there.
There's one thing about RVers and in these RV parks and stuff is these people are the nicest people out there. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's because everyone's so close together, but they'll help you with anything, especially if you're new to RVing. Walk up to anybody in an RV park and they're going to help you out. And that's the cool thing about RVing. And not only from that aspect too, but also, you know, it's good to have people out there looking out for you. We were at an RV park where we lost power, the air conditioner went off, and the neighbor actually ran to the front desk and was actually saying, hey, the power's out. And so she was looking out for us, even though it didn't always affect them guys. She was worried about our air conditioning and everything. So RVers are great, so do talk to your neighbors.
Hey guys, this is the end of the video. Make sure that you like and subscribe for more great content that is ready to come. Peace.